this show, so many years later, is still so beloved by so many people here today?
Well, because of its quality. Because it was wonderful. Great acting, great storylines.
Yes.
You?
Yes, it was. Great quality I'm not so certain about because the sets...
There was an irony in that tone.
I know.
In case
Sets
you had
did wobble and fall about, but
Yes.
that I think was part of the charm of it. Why is it so successful? Because I think, like all good series, it's character driven, and people like the characters. And if they like the characters, you can put them anywhere and have them doing anything you like. Do you know? And people did like the characters, the goodies and the baddies, and it held together. It was a sort of little family show, really.
And I think the reason that they enjoyed it too was because we all liked each other and we had such a great time doing it. It was a team effort, and I think that always comes across, that there's a feel-good thing underlying it all. You know, everyone's
I mean,
for
we're
it.
still all great friends after 40 years,
Yeah.
which is pretty rare after a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, I can't think of anyone else. I know 3 people, two people that I'm great friends. 3 of Michael too, yeah.
I go on. I have been on holidays with Sally. I haven't been on holidays with
Yes, we
anyone
go on
else.
slightly bonkers
But we were more
holidays.
friends.
She's been promising to go on holiday with me for 40 years, and I'm still trying to talk around. But actually, joking aside, Jan and I were at drama school together, and so were Gareth and I at drama school together. So we knew each other even before this. Paul Darrow and I had worked together only a couple of years before this. So absolutely right about the family thing. It always felt like a family thing. We always liked and got on with each other, and that will always produce good work.
And when I was 18, Stephen was going out with my flatmate. So Stephen visited
Jane.
that flat in Shepherd's Bush.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
When you were
so we
18.
were partying together.
Jane
yeah.
Bond, I remember her name.
Yes,
bless her.
God, life
Jane
goes
Bond.
fast.
No relation to James Bond, like they are.
No.
Her father was actually a very well-known doctor or surgeon up in Birmingham, I seem
That's
to
right.
remember.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So,
A
yeah.
lot of actors have down to a doctors. Did you know that?
No.
I did. But
Well, I
many
know now.
others do. Many others do.
Day age of reboots and things sort of starting again. Did you ever think they'll revisit? Do you ever think something will happen?
We constantly were being told there was going to be a new series, and constantly it didn't happen.
Or a film, but it never happened. I think there was all sorts of rights disputes and discussions and goodness knows what.
I think the fans would have absolutely loved one, but
It's the fans that have kept us going. I mean, we've got a lot to thank our fan club Horizon for, and Diane Geese, who runs it, lots to thank for.
yeah, she's
They've really been there all the
consistent.
time, so
And
we do thank the fans.
That Big Finish, you know,
Yes.
for continuing the audio stuff, which we only did last year, the last one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's that fresh, isn't
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
really?
yeah. And we'll do something again soon,
so.
very soon, I hear.
Nice to revisit the characters after all that time.
It's
in a big
terrific.
It was very strange. The first time we were in the little studio in
Tunbridge Wells.
Kensal Rise,
Oh, right.
when
Yeah.
we did the first one, and I remember distinctly Paul being there. I just remember this moment when I thought, this is so strange, it's so different, because we're just sitting in this small audio studio, and it was one where you sat in your own individual booth, which is unlike another place where we record them when you're more of a group, sort of standing round mic, with your mic standing round. And it was like so reminiscent of how it used to be, and yet it wasn't. And in fact, all the dynamics of the camera, of the audio, of the mic were the same. And I thought,
Yeah.
we don't really change much, do we?
We haven't.
No,
We
that
stayed
camaraderie
the
has
same.
got even better, I think, with the years. And because I was always so nervous in the first series, what I love now is the fact I don't have the nerves anymore, and I just thoroughly enjoy it. It is our chance to sort of revisit the characters and to put all that maturity into
But you know what was really odd down in Tunbridge Wells was doing scenes with Sal and with Jan, and reading the script and thinking, I haven't changed in 40 years. I haven't improved as an actor in 40 years because I'm still playing this same part. And why haven't things changed? Because I've got older, obviously. And it's because the script and the characters are the same as they were 40 years ago. So although my voice might have got a little bit deeper in that 40 years, I'm glad it has, I'm still playing that same character, and I'm thinking I'm the same as I was then. That was the mystery that was solved then and there, that I couldn't understand why I wasn't different. I think probably a little slower and less sharper because of age, but basically
I feel more
same.
liberated, to coin a phrase. But no, I felt very liberated on these. I thought them really good fun. And no, I'm eating.
Terribly hungry all
We're
this
all very
questioning.
hungry. Sorry, we haven't had our lunch yet. We don't mind us eating.
So how many cons does this for you, like, what number is this?
Hundreds.
Lots and lots. Yeah.
We did lots in America for many years.
This is very big. It's too bloody big. I mean, really, it is. It's a vast hangar of everybody. And there are shows and people that I've never heard of. And half these people I've never heard of. I think they're extras in big series, is what I think they are. Good luck. I mean, good luck. But, you know, the ones we used to do all those years ago, you knew everybody. They were all television names, you know. Who is?
But they are,
They've all
but we
got
don't
great
know
posters
them.
and banners and stuff, you know, and they
think
all
we
look
might-
very important.
Yeah, we may
Maybe
be
they are.
not kept up
We're
with
out of
times,
touch.
I don't know.
And the games thing, I mean, there are lots of game stars here, aren't there? I mean, unless you do games.
That's
and-
right.
Oh, I
Online
didn't even
gaming.
realise that either.
I just remember getting terrible indigestion one Christmas when my son, who's now 40, we first got anything like a game, and it was the most brilliant, beautiful graphics, and I just laughed so much playing. I got the most terrible indigestion, but I think I'm not blaming the indigestion for not getting involved in games, but I can imagine over that period of time, and I mean, God, that was years ago. You must have been about 6 or 7 then, and how it's all developed, I just
Do
know.
they have any Castlevania games here, do you know? Because I know I've done voices for those, but I've never actually seen them. What?
Well, I want to tell.
Castlevania, Lord of Shadows, that sort of
I
thing?
want to tell those Castlevania people.
What?
I want to tell them that I'm available for online
I will
games.
tell them.
Okay?
You can come and take over from Ewan McGregor. Or you can be the... I was a triumvirate of womanhood or something.
Ooh,
so
I
you can
say.
be the triumvirate of
Manhood.
masculinity.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've never played a video game in my life. Bit old fogey, really, isn't it?
Talking about good old-fashioned special effects, obviously you were sort of talking quite affectionately, I guess, about some of the wobbly doors and things like that. Do you have any particular memories of those experiences that make you smile the most when you think about them?
I used to have boosters that used to come off. I do standard by 3 and rising, and with my boosters, and then they'd suddenly fall off. So in the end, because they were sort of super glued or whatever tacked onto the side of my seat, so in the end I had two very small blokes sitting there holding the other end of my boosters. And so,
I tell you what, Sally, explain what the booster was exactly.
Okay, yes.
So there's no
booster-
misunderstandings.
A booster actually is an angle poise lamp, which is meant to be, you know, as your how many spatials would I be going? Anyone, any idea?
230 per
It'd
second.
be an
230
accelerator.
per
that
second.
one up.
That's exactly very good. But he's dead on. He's absolutely right. And so I'd be getting faster and faster and faster, going off to Araran or somewhere, and there'd be 2 blokes holding on to my boosters.
When it was allowed in those days.
We have got, I must add, which is going to be played at the 40th anniversary con in September. Where are we doing it?
Brentford.
Brentford. Yeah,
Brentford.
near Kew.
Wood or foot?
Yeah.
I think
Brentford.
most of the tickets are sold, but you know. And I have still got a tape which has been transposed of that the BBC sound crew made of
Bloopers.
not even bloopers, but
Not
of things that people said
Not
during
that
the
one
making
that
of.
you- when
There's
I
all
left,
sorts
you
of
played.
double entendres there.
There's one you played when I left.
That's
It's a
the
sort of-
one. The one I played to you
goodbye
the other
present.
day. No. I played you one not that long ago. I said this is the tape, and you
Oh,
listened
that-
to it
Oh my God.
when we were in. Yeah. So they're going to play that there because I don't think loads of people would never have heard.
I was
it.
always 3 steps behind everybody else. I'm always saying, sorry, what should bang, bang.
It was so
I was never
fun.
very...
It's nice.
I was a bit
very
nervous
nice.
and unrelaxed, but life has changed a bit.
But it was your boosters were mentioned in that. I remember.
Oh yes, that would be double entendre, wouldn't it? But have you got other memories of explosions and things going
Oh,
on?
I got a memory of that kind of mobile intercom device that I had, which kind of capsized or exploded in my hand, and I think I was so embarrassed that I'd broken the prop, and I broke into this kind of Camp American accent. I have no idea why I did that,
Did you?
but
How'd you
I
do?
was really kind of self-conscious that I'd broken this prop, and that, you know, perhaps I shouldn't have done, or perhaps it wasn't my fault, but it probably was for being clumsy. And it all was fine. We all exploded in laughter, and a new one was put in. Don't know where they got that from, but anyway, it was all mended, and it was fine. I don't remember too many other things.
I remember us in the nuclear power station. Do you remember that, Jan? Mm-hmm. With Vera Lorimer, who was said, "Oh, well, I want you, as it were, to sort of run, as it were, directly towards that point there, as it were," and somebody will be throwing something, as it were. And as we ran towards this thing that was being thrown to us, it actually exploded in our faces, didn't it? And we were just freaked out because we were inside a nuclear power station.
Because we were on the power cap, which was really freaky.
Absolutely.
You
We
are
had to
now
be
we are
Geiger
working on the
counted
power
before
cap.
we went in, and then it went wrong, and they said, "Never mind, boys and girls, let's go back and do it again."
Not so close this time.
God Almighty, it was terrifying, wasn't it? And I think I had radiation. Did you tell me I had
Yes,
radiation?
no. I tell you, this space we were working on, roundabout was the hazard tape, like, you know, to avoid this. Costume, crew, people just sitting on these areas that what are they doing? It's this hazard with all this black and yellow tape.
Played hazard
And
with
not
your
only-
boosters, didn't it?
Not only that, when we left there, we were told, you know, you can check on the Geiger counters, and there were these things that looked, you probably don't know what they looked like, but if you have any idea what a really old-fashioned weighing machine, they used to have them in places like Boots, and they had a big dial and a big column down there, and you stood on this sort of weighing part, and that's what we were supposed to check with this Geiger counter. I remember Sally stood on hers. It was about 6 o'clock. We were wrapping then, and then it was going, bah, 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 and she was screaming, I'm
radioactive.
I'm radioactive. And then there were one of these looked like dab technicians going around in white coats, very sombre, with sort of no expression. I remember that vividly. They were all there. And this guy came up and he said, this lady, Sally, the Geiger counters look, and he went, "Don't worry, it's probably only background." And that was the reply. So you're still here anyway.
No recollection of that at all. But anyway.
Congratulations for surviving.
I know. I think we deserve that.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
pleasure.